Alright, so Avengers Endgame ends with Tony Stark dead, Steve Rogers retired, the Avengers basically broken, and the world trying to move on. Everything after this is about grief, responsibility, and the multiverse breaking apart. Let's go in order. Spider-Man Far From Home. Peter Parker is traumatized after Tony's death and just wants a break. While on a Europe school trip, Nick Fury pulls him into stopping elementals with a new hero, Mysterio. Turns out Mysterio is a fraud, using Stark tech to fake disasters and make himself look like a savior. Peter defeats him, but Mysterio gets the last laugh by revealing Peter Parker is Spider-Man to the entire world. That moment changes everything. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This movie introduces new mystical power into the MCU. Shang-Chi is pulled back into his past by his father, Wenwu, leader of the Ten Rings. Wenwu believes Shang-Chi's mother is alive in a hidden village called Ta Lo, but he's actually being manipulated by a dark, ancient creature. The monster is unleashed, Wenwu dies trying to save his son, and Shang-Chi ends up with the Ten Rings, which send out a mysterious signal hinting something much bigger is listening. Loki, Season 1, happens because of Endgame and very important to the next saga. This is where the multiverse actually breaks. The 2012 version of Loki escapes with the Tesseract and is arrested by the TVA, who protect a single sacred timeline. He learns the TVA is fake, its workers are kidnapped variants, and the real person behind it all is he who remains, a Kang variant. At the end, Sylvie, another version of Loki, kills Kang, instantly splitting the timeline into infinite universes. This is the single most important event post-Endgame. Spider-Man No Way Home. After Peter's identity is exposed, his life is ruined. Doctor Strange tries to erase the knowledge, but the spell breaks reality, pulling villains from other universes like Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro. Peter learns the true meaning of responsibility and sacrifices everything by making the world forget Peter Parker exists, even MJ and Ned. He wins, but ends completely alone. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The multiverse is now unstable. Doctor Strange protects America Chavez, who can travel between universes from Wanda corrupted by the Darkhold and desperate to reach her children. Strange faces darker versions of himself, learns how dangerous the multiverse really is, and Wanda seemingly dies destroying the Darkhold, though her fate is intentionally unclear. Thor, Love and Thunder. Thor tries to retire and find peace, but Gore the God Butcher is killing gods. Jane Foster becomes Mighty Thor, but is secretly dying of cancer. Gore is eventually redeemed, Jane dies a hero, and Thor adopts Gore's resurrected daughter, Love. Thor becomes a father. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Wakanda mourns T'Challa's death. They're attacked by Namor, ruler of the underwater nation Talokan. After nearly choosing revenge, Shuri rejects vengeance, becomes the new Black Panther, and Wakanda chooses diplomacy over endless war. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. This introduces the MCU's biggest future villain. The Ant-Man family is pulled into the quantum realm where they meet Kang the Conqueror, a variant exiled by other Kangs. They defeat him, but the post-credit scene reveals thousands of Kang variants preparing for war. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 follows the team on a dangerous mission to save a critically injured Rocket, whose past as a test subject for the villainous High Evolutionary is revealed. The Guardians defeat the High Evolutionary, save countless victims, and then disband. Rocket becomes leader, Peter Quill returns to Earth, Nebula and Drax staying to raise the rescued children on Nowhere, and the original Guardian story ends. The Marvels. Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Miss Marvel's powers get entangled. They stop Dar-Ben, but Monica sacrifices herself and gets trapped in another universe, where she meets the X-Men version of Beast, confirming mutants exist in the multiverse. Deadpool and Wolverine. The TVA returns. Deadpool learns his universe is being erased because its anchor, Wolverine, is gone. Deadpool goes on a multiversal quest to find a replacement Wolverine, and eventually teaming up with a Wolverine variant to fight the TVA, ultimately leading to battles against other variants and a confrontation with the villainous Cassandra Nova. This movie officially brings Fox characters into the MCU canon. Captain America, Brave New World. Sam Wilson struggles as the new Cap. President Thaddeus Ross becomes Red Hulk, the leader returns, and Sam proves Captain America doesn't need super soldier serum, just moral strength. The Thunderbolts follows Marvel's morally gray anti-heroes, Yelena, Bucky, Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, and U.S. Agent, recruited by Valentina for a covert mission that turns into a deadly trap, forcing them to confront their dark pasts and betrayals, eventually uniting them against Val's manipulations. In the end, they're introduced as new Avengers. Loki Season 2, most important setup. The TVA starts collapsing because infinite timelines are growing uncontrollably. Loki realizes the system cannot be fixed, so he makes the ultimate sacrifice. He destroys the TVA's loom and physically holds every timeline together himself. Loki becomes the god of stories, sitting alone at the end of time, keeping the multiverse alive. This is why reality still exists. Fantastic Four: First Steps. Set slightly outside the main timeline. The Fantastic Four are celebrities when Galactus arrives, threatening Earth. They learn their unborn son, Franklin, is powerful enough to stop him, and Galactus demands the child in exchange for sparing Earth. The team refuses. With the Silver Surfer's help, they manage to push Galactus far away from the galaxy, saving both Earth and the baby. But the real twist comes in the post-credit scene. We see Dr. Doom quietly visiting Franklin, Sue Storm's child, clearly aware of the baby's god-level potential. And that moment makes one thing clear. Franklin is the key, and Dr. Doom is coming. This directly sets up Avengers Doomsday and the next massive MCU conflict.